wet sanding this, keeping it moist, spraying water on the inside. Yeah, some of it's going to fly out, be careful. And I'm going through the grits now. I'm down to 400 grit. Start at 120, 180, 240, 320, 400. And we're going to stop it and have a look. Just spray, beautiful. That is a really, really, really nice, super smooth finish. You'll be amazed at the finish you can get. The grain in there is just absolutely gorgeous. Nice piece of apricot. The other advantage of wet sanding is it builds up a slurry. You're not breathing in any dust. You're replacing the water that it's losing as it's spinning. And your paper, see the slurry on there? That just flushes out. Your paper lasts longer. Just keep it wet. Keep it wet. So what I'm going to do now, dry it off, give it a coat of oil, and don't worry that the piece of wood's still wet. Just give it a coat of oil. That's going to seal in the moisture up to a point. The centrifugal force, as it's turning, is going to push the oil through the sides of the piece. It's a nice even thickness, about 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 all the way around. And it's a nice finish. It dries slowly. It slows down the drying process. Try not to put sanding sealer on. If you put sanding sealer on, the wood's still wet. The moisture has to escape and it'll push the sand sealer off the surface of the wood. Okay, so oil is the best finish. So I'm going to dry it and then we'll come back and you'll see me putting the oil on and you'll see what the finish is like. It should look like that. It should look like what it looks like when it's wet. Okay, excellent. Okay, so we've dried that off and I'm going to give it a coat of Danish oil. This should just pop the grain beautifully. Yeah, absolutely. You can see it changing. Now that oil's soaking into the wood straight away. So look, we're going to slap it on. Don't be shy. Get it on there. And if it soaks in, give it another coat. That's a good sign. If it's soaking in. Yeah, plenty of that on. Excellent. Get right down to the bottom. It's not far off. You can always stop and re-oil it at any stage as you're working on the outside. Have a look. If it needs more oil, if it's soaked in, give it another coat of oil. That has worked out really nice. The inside, you'll be amazed at how smooth you'll be able to get the piece of wood even though it's wet. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so what we're going to do now is move the tool rest down to here and we're going to turn the outside to the same shape as the inside. And if I get it right, well, okay, bearing in mind I couldn't see, I'll tell you what, move the camera around and I'll explain it. Come on. Okay, so we've moved the tool rest into position. Now if we look, you can see where the oil has penetrated through certain places on the piece. So that's a good sign. That's okay, that's fine. I haven't done any sanding here yet until I've got the whole of the outside shape. We're going to take it down so far, sand and finish all the outside in one go, okay? And again, try and get this done in one hit. Or if you only can do the outside, put in a plastic bag and hollow the rest of it later. But you've got to do the hollowing and this in one hit. You can't leave it. So here we go. Speed's good. I'm going to check the thickness. Sorry, a little faster. I'm going to get rid of some of this wood here. Don't need that there. Little quarter gouge. And I get that faster. There we go. Right, okay, this is the fastest I've been able to get it now, and that's on around about 1600. Just using the wing of the tool. Small, careful cuts. Well, actually, they're quite large cuts for such a small tool. With a lot of control. That's a very underestimated tool over here. Nice little chisel cuts. Gonna pick the cut up here because I know it's slightly thicker there. Just feather the bevel, pick the cut up, keep the bevel in contact with the wood. Just take the skimming off that. We'll check the thickness, take a little more. Much better thickness. Okay, notice where the tool rest is. I need to move it, so I'm going to stop the lathe, especially for a piece like this. If you catch the tool rest, bang, it's gone. So, the tool rest here, I didn't have it across there. If this hits the tool rest, bang, you've lost the edge. Get the tool rest out of the way of the natural edge. And this allows me to get the tool rest closer. So, we're going to start around about that point there. Yeah, around about that point there, it's going to start to curl in. I'm going to get rid of some of this wood here so you can see better. And from about that part, we're going to start to form the return curve. And that should give us a really nice ogee. Tell you what, I'm going to keep that small tool sharp for the more refined cuts. I'm going to take the bulk of the wood away with the bigger tool. Not taking too much away. I still want to keep that support. Bevel. And take that across there. Let me check the thickness. Yeah, from about that point there, it's going to turn in. So, using the ball gouge, all I'm going to do is twist, just twist my wrist, and what will happen is it'll start to form the return curve. It's the exact same cut as you would do if you were rolling a bead on a spindle. Bevel, pick the cut up, roll the tool, and it's starting to form that return curve. Let's take some of this. Bevel, pick the cut up, twist your wrist, and again, that's starting to form that curve. Right, I need to move the tool rest closer. It's getting too far away. Again, let me just check the thickness. That's spot on. So, move that touch closer. And we'll continue on. Get rid of some of this. What I'm looking at also is how that curve there, or this curve that I'm cutting, reflects that one. I want it to be 50-50. That needs tucking in a little bit more. And I've got the thickness to do it. So we're going to... Actually, I'm not happy with that transition right in the middle. So I'm going to move the tool rest back to here. This is critical. This is a very important shape. And it looks better when it's right. There we go. That's what I wanted. Now take another cut off here. That's better. Let's stop that. Just see what the cut's like. If it's a good finish, I'll know I can sand it. Yeah, all that'll sand up. No tear out whatsoever. In fact, I'll tell you what. Let's just wet it. I'm just being a bit impatient here. Oh man. That is going to be really, really pretty. Okay, so tell you what, just dry that off, otherwise I'm going to get a bath. Okay, now then, this bowl gouge, there's a limit to how far we can get this in to that curve. I'm going to have to finish it off with the spindle gouge. Again, the wings are cut back on the spindle gouge so I can get it right into the corner that I want to get into, that little curve, the bottom of the ogee. And again, I'm going to move the tool rest a little closer, less overhang, more control. Gorgeous little tool, this quarter bowl gouge. And you can see we're taking it down a step at a time. Clearing the wood away in front of the cut. And watch the wing. Watch that. Be very, very careful of that wing. I'm making sure that when I get to the bottom of the cut, I'm closing it down. So that wing, if it does catch, is going to scrape If the flute's slightly open, bang, it'll actually want to take a big cut. Okay, going to change to the spindle gouge now. Tell you what, I'm going to stop it. We're just going to move the camera. I need you to see a little bit more of the profile here.